I'm finally travelling to Tasmania, and I'm really looking forward to exploring its historic villages and beautiful and rugged scenery. But little did I know I was travelling straight into a deadly storm. Inside there's already people throwing up. But nevertheless, I pushed on, and I found villages filled with art and quirky stories and old haunted pubs. I didn't get it on camera, but as we walked in, that flew off a shelf. We'll get to that later, but let's pick up where this journey starts on mainland Australia. You've been asking for a while, so I'm excited to say I'm finally doing it. I'm going to Tasmania. I'm back in my van Nessie, and over the next 4 weeks we'll be exploring Tassie. And in this video I'll be giving you the lowdown on how to get there and what to see and do when you do get there. The Spirit of Tasmania ferry sails out of Corio Bay near Geelong every day to make its way to Tasmania. The only way to get your van across to Tassie is in this thing, the Spirit of Tasmania. Generally it'll go at night time. It's about an 8-hour overnight journey, but I'm catching it in the morning. So tonight I'm camping in the car park, and very early I'll be on that ship on my way to Tassie. All things considered, it was a pretty good park up with a lovely view of the bay. Then up early at 6 a.m. to check in and get aboard. Like I said, this ferry is the only way to get your van across to Tassie, and it can often book out 3-4 months ahead. So if you're thinking of going, you need to book early. Sometimes there are cancellations, so if it seems to be fully booked out, keep checking online. You might get lucky. When you get on board, you can't stay in your vehicle, so make sure you've got a bag with everything you need for the day. Oh, and take a photo of what level you're on so you can find your car at the end of the trip. Now, the Spirit of Tasmania has cabins, and they also have recliner chairs, but this is travelling during the day, so I didn't book either of that. So I just get to sit in a chair in the lounge. There's a cinema on board, and plenty of cafes and restaurants. Everything is cashless though, so make sure you bring your cards. Oh, and there's Wi-Fi on board, but you've got to pay for it, of course. There are multiple levels of lounges with bars and cafes. There's even a gaming room for the kids. Oh, here's a tip. Don't make the same mistake that I did. You can't bring fresh fruit and veggies to Tassie. So that grocery shop I did yesterday was pointless because I had to give it all away to a friend. So I'll just settle in for the next 8 hours. Next stop, Tasmania. This is Bass Strait, one of the most dangerous straits in Australia. It's pretty windy today, so it's pretty choppy out there and the boat's rocking and rolling. I'm glad I'm travelling today though, because tomorrow the weather forecast is for extreme winds and extreme storms. It would be no fun. Inside there's already people throwing up. The winds picked up during the day, and I must admit, it was a pretty rough passage. There were a couple of times where I felt a little bit queasy, but I did manage to get my sea legs and not embarrass myself. And around 6 p.m, we arrived in Tassie. Well, I've made it to Tassie, Nessie and I have spent the last 12 months travelling around Australia, and Tassie was the only state we hadn't gotten to. So now we've gotten to every state in Australia. Hey, high five me. So first order of business, I don't know where I'm staying tonight. I haven't booked anything, and I've got no idea. I think I'll just have to find a car park somewhere for tonight. The other thing that bothers me a little bit is there's a major storm coming with rain, hail, destructive winds. So I don't know how much exploring I'm going to get to do in the first day. Let's just work it out as we go. I'll just wing it. That's what I usually do. But tonight I need to find a car park somewhere. Just park up here in Devonport and work it all out in the morning. Welcome to Tassie, guys. A storm's come through, and it's dangerous winds and hail and rain, and it just poured all last night, and the van was shaking a lot and rocking. But that's just what it is. Here's where I spent the night. It was the local country club. It was good, you know, there's nobody here. It was quiet, it was safe. Over there there's a toilet, and it's a $10 donation, so that's pretty good value. So that helped me out last night. But oh my god, today the weather is shit. Yeah, my original plan was to head up to the northwest corner of Tassie and then start coming down the west coast. There was another van parked here last night, and it was a local guy, and we had a chat, and he said, mate, don't do that in this weather. It'll be horrendous. So I set up last night and rejigged my itinerary. I think the plan now is to go east and get towards the leeward side of the island, which at least it means the wind won't be quite as horrendous, because the forecast is for massive storms and really dangerous winds. So yeah, it's okay, that's just Tassie. As the guy said to me, you're in Tassie, the weather is the boss. You got to work around the weather. And that's true. Yeah, the overnight storm was pretty severe, more than 100 km/h winds. Unfortunately, it killed 2 people. It was a good call to head east and not west, where the damage was most severe.
In 200 metres, turn right onto Railton Road, B13.
Yeah, storms have done a little bit of damage last night. Trees were down and rivers were flooded, but the worst of the weather was over, so I pushed on. I'm really excited to be back in Nessie and exploring again. I love being in the van. I do really enjoy going overseas and just having a break from van life for a little bit. But every time I come back to Nessie, I just feel supercharged and excited again. I really love the freedom to explore at my own pace. If you're sitting on the fence and you're wondering about whether to do van life or not, just get off the fence and get into a van. You won't regret it. First stop is the little village of Sheffield. This is a dairy area known for producing butterfat, but these days it's known as a village filled with beautiful murals. What a beautiful little village it is. There's artwork everywhere. And for a moment the sun's come out, and that's really nice. There's something like 130 murals in this town. That's incredible. And it's so pretty with Mount Roland in the background. Really lovely place, very tourist friendly. I can see a lot of vans here. Sheffield is a really pretty little village, and I'm sure with better weather it would be crawling with tourists. What I really love is a lot of the murals tell stories about the town's past. This behind me used to be a garage. It was run by a fella called Alf Rowe, and he was apparently quite inventive, and in the 1930s he invented the world's first coin-operated petrol pump. This is a replica of a hollow tree. Apparently, this was the local post box. In the old days, there really was a hollow tree, and people would just come and pop their letters in that hollow tree, and the post office would clear it and deliver the mail. This guy, Harry Clark, apparently was Tasmania's longest serving policeman. And then in the 1970s, when a group of school students got into trouble on Cradle Mountain, he went up there and rescued them. All these boards behind the Tourist Information Centre are set up for murals. They have an international mural festival. I believe the next one's in November sometime. Murals absolutely everywhere, celebrating the history and stories of this town. I love it. It's very pretty, but man, it's cold. I'm sure on a sunny day on a weekend, this would be crawling with tourists. But the weather called for something warm, coffee and breakfast. This whole trip of Tassie that I'm doing over the next month is all programmed by you guys. On my socials I put out some messages saying, I'm coming to Tassie, give me some suggestions, and I got loads of suggestions. I'm really grateful for that. So it's you guys that are telling me where to go and see the best spots. So far it's off to a great start. As I drive around Tassie, I'm trying to take all the back roads, the scenic roads, because I'm not in a hurry. I just think we'll get to see much more of this beautiful island. Already it's really beautiful. Deloraine is another one of those cute little villages in the central north, I think this district's called. This was established around 1820, and it's got these cute little statues all dotted through town. Deloraine is known for its really vibrant arts and crafts scene. The Creative Studios are exactly what it says. It's a series of studios for local artists, and there appears to be an awful lot of local artists and crafts people here. Really lovely. Do recommend you pop your head in and have a look. Next I've come to Cataract Gorge, just out of Launceston. It seems like the park is closed, probably because of the weather. No, we can. Chairlift is operating. This claims to be the world's longest single chairlift span. 308 metres is the central span. Am I going to go on the chairlift? Yeah, nah. No, not for me. If you want to, that's cool. I don't like these kind of things. So if you're wondering what it's like to be on the chairlift, you're going to have to find out for yourself. But I am prepared to walk the suspension bridge for a view of the gorge. This is the Alexander Suspension Bridge, a little bit wobbly. Gives you a view up the gorge. Launceston is Tasmania's second biggest city. Population's I think about 75,000 people, so it's not very big. It's best known for Cataract Gorge, but something I do like about Launceston is its beautiful city park. And one of the strange things about City Park is this is where you'll find monkeys. These are macaque monkeys all the way from Japan. Who would have known you'd find monkeys in Tasmania? Not far out of Launceston is the historic village of Evandale. It's a charmer. It's a very pretty little village with cafes and, as you'd expect, lots of antique stores. Wow, I really feel like I've stepped back in time. Have a look at this. I'm told originally this was a barn or a stables where they kept the horses. Beautiful old dining set. This can be yours for $6,800. Some beautiful antiques, but man, that's way out of my league. I'm just some homeless guy. I really didn't know that penny farthing racing was a thing, but here they have the national championships. There are two pubs in town. Both have great stories. The busiest one seems to be the Clarendon Arms. I'm told the old pub was actually built by convicts, and down in the cellars there's jail cells because they used to lock them up at night time and then let them out during the day to build the roads and some of the buildings. And this dining room has beautiful murals around the walls that tell the story of the town right from the beginning. It's all covered by National Trust, so it'll be here forever. Next door they have a couple of beautiful cottages for accommodation. And in the pub they not only supply meals, but they also have scones and beautiful cakes, all made in-house. The other pub in town is the Prince of Wales. This one dates back to the late 1830s, and I'm told mysterious things happen here. So Scotty, who's the lessee of the pub, is happy to take me into the original part of the pub. This is where sometimes people feel things. I didn't get it on camera, but as we walked in, that flew off a shelf, honestly.
An eerie smell of basically of a presence of a ghost. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced anything?
Yes, we have. Well, won't go right into that.
Our friend Elizabeth.
Okay, she's a permanent.
She likes to move things.
She's a permanent resident. Yeah.
Yes, and blow in your ear.
We just felt that when we come in the door, something fell off the chair straight away.
It did.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah. Elizabeth is in the house.
Yes.
This back part of the old pub was originally used by the police as a lockup, and it was also at some stage used as a mortuary back in the days when they had nowhere else to go. But there's been a lot of history in the back room, basically. Yeah.
If you have a close look, under the tin are the original shingles. Yeah, that was fascinating. I love old pubs. There's always so many stories associated with them. That was great. And apparently Elizabeth was a former owner from a long time ago. That's who they're referring to. And honestly, that can just flew off the shelf. And finally for today, I've come to the seaside village of Bridport, and I'm staying at the caravan park. I'm sure it would be a lovely little place in normal weather, but today it's brutal. That wind is brutal. Okay, that'll do for the day. I've got to get out of this wind and rain. I'll catch you in the morning if I haven't been blown away overnight. It was a chance to have a hot shower and cook up something warm for the night. The next day, the weather was a little bit better. Yeah, good morning. It was a pretty blustery night last night, but not as bad as the previous one. I think the weather's on the improve. It's still pretty windy, but I think it's going to start getting better from here. I did get a decent sleep. Got myself a coffee. Let's get on the road. The plan today was to get on the Great Eastern Road to drive from Bridport all the way to St Helens.
There's a hint of sweetness in your eye.
That's the watch out for kangaroos sign in Tasmania. It looks like a giant kangaroo, like left over from the dinosaur period. Mega fauna. It looks like it could lift up the car and just throw it away. Pretty sure they're not really that big. This whole drive has been a series of mountains with beautiful forest, and then travelling through beautiful emerald green valleys, and then back up to the next mountain and the next valley, and they're all just so beautiful. I'd love to film the whole drive for you because it's so beautiful, but I really got to focus on driving because they're very narrow, windy roads coming through these mountains. But every now and again, there's a little area where I can pull off the road and stop and get a couple of shots. So here's another one of those beautiful emerald green valleys. The whole drive's been like this. It's just alternating between mountains, forest, and beautiful valleys. Sensational. I've made it to St Helens, so I'm now officially on the East Coast. The Great Eastern Drive was fantastic, really enjoyed that. I think I might call it for this episode, but next week I'll start exploring the east coast of Tasmania. Thanks so much for watching. It's been great fun so far. I'll catch you next time. All these boards along here are for a mural competition they have every year. And they also, in November, I think, have an international mural competition. It's probably the same one, Terence.